This is Lindsay Williams, and you're listening to the Drunkard United Show. Bless your little cotton socks.
So Uncle Sam really loves his little toffee niece, but his little toffee niece is an absolute petri dish of germs. So I am now twice this month, Sam, with a head cold. So
nice.
But I found NyQuil that high blood pressure, aka fat people like me, can use.
Okay.
So to quote Dennis Leary, my teeth are green and I'm fucking high as a kite. Merry fucking Christmas. Let's start the show. Hello and welcome to the Drunkard United Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League as told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Huston, and across the way from me is the man carrying the heavy load tonight. Sammy, you ready to get it done? It's all you tonight, brother.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just wishing I brought my SARS mask I bought 15 years ago when we had that scare.
Oh, don't worry. I'm just going to lick your face like 5 or 6 times before you leave, get you good and proper sick.
Awesome.
Yeah, just got to stay away from my my mouth guard, that's all.
Got it.
You know, especially considering I like to eat the mouth guard when I'm talking into it as well, so.
Heard.
No, we're recording at Studio H, just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out on all podcast platforms. Most importantly, be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with your friends. Should you want to chat with us, there's many ways that you can. Sammy, why don't you tell the good people how they can get in touch?
Sure, on all social medias, which we've actually been having a ton of people get in touch. Jose, Ray, Russ, of course, John, everybody's been chatting during games. Been a lot of fun.
Fucking love
it. It's at DUfootballshow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Twitter especially, we got a broader audience of guys down in Houston, out in Arizona, everybody. So that's a lot of fun. And then DUfootballshow@gmail.com as well if you want to get in touch via email, even if you're a Nigerian prince trying to sell us something.
Yeah, send us.
Or find out my religious beliefs, or what was it?
But do you consider Portland, Oregon, Sam?
Right, I do consider Portland, Oregon, yes.
Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, even when I'm sick, we vow to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every show, but then, of course, this kind of fixes everything because it's whiskey. Sammy, what are we drinking today?
I was going to say, that's one of the oldest remedies in the book.
Yep.
Just down a little whiskey to get rid of something. This week we have Whistle Pig 12-year-old Bespoke single finish. So this particular one is the Cognac finish. There were less than 100 cases made of this one. And some of the Bespoke barrels, there was actually less than 100 cases made because it all depends on how big the barrel is. I'm sure, I don't know if you did or not, but for instance, Vosage barrels don't hold the same amount of liquid as bourbon barrels do, blah, blah, blah. So this one happens to be a Cognac barrel finish. I'll let you talk a little bit more about the whiskey itself, but 88 proof, $113.99 to $125.99 on the shelf, if you can bloody find it.
Yeah, this is definitely something. Google search online. This one in particular is out of a store in D.C., and they also have a Ghanaian rum finished one as well. Ooh. And D.C. is allowed to sell online. So if it was something you're interested in, you can actually go online. Just Google, Old World single finishes, and you'll find stuff to be able to order online, I'm sure. But yeah, there was, like I said, the Ghanaian rum. There's Oloroso sherry. There's a Solera sherry, doing the whole Solera system of the multiple barrels and it all bleeding into one another. They did Takai, I believe. They've also done an Amarone as well, so that really kind of raisiny Italian wine. So really good stuff. And
yeah, it's excellent. I just had a sip. It was fantastic.
Yeah, this one is really, really soft and sweet. And
yeah,
really
no ice,
easy.
no water.
Yeah, the Ghanaian rum needs a little ice to it because even though it's at 88 proof, the rum cask, which is an ex-bourbon barrel, the rum cask really accentuates the rye. Before you get into what you're doing there with what you're drinking on with from Monument, I wanted to mention a couple of people have been reaching out, asking about some recommendations on whiskey as far as stuff they want to hear us talk about. We hear you. Some brands specifically, Peerless and Michters.
Michters.
Michters, I'm sorry.
That was
Michters.
Jose, yeah.
Yeah, I really love their American whiskey, so I could definitely see us doing that in the future.
Yeah, Michters is an awesome little brand. Peerless, I told him I haven't had yet. But
And then it was Evan also recommended doing the top 20 from Whiskey Advocate, doing some of those. Number one got announced today. A little surprised by it.
All right. Care to share?
George Dickel Tennessee Whiskey 13-year-old bottle in bond.
Really?
A Tennessee whiskey won the top spot. So
odd.
Yeah, very odd. I mean, I'm intrigued to try it. I don't mind a Tennessee whiskey, so that'll probably, if I find a bottle on the shelf, and as long as stores aren't trying to bend you over on the price because it got number one, because now all the mouth breathers are going to try to buy it.
Of course, they've never disappointed any whiskey on that list.
Oh, they've always all been good. Last year we had the Glendalough 13-year-old, the Ms. Nora Oak finish, and that was a bloody fucking wonderful whiskey.
Yeah, but it's also got something special done to it. George Dickel 13-year-old. I'm not trying to discount the whiskey. I've never had it. It's probably very good. That screams of Diageo paying a wee bit of money.
Maybe
to get
not.
into the Advocates top 20.
Sometimes the reviewers just want a good representation of good old American whiskey.
Fair enough.
That's the reason why you'll see things like Wild Turkey and Old Grandad at time to time do really well, because they're just representations of what bourbon
should be. Yeah,
how it was made. It's a little different now. So
Evan Williams single barrel should make that list at some point, because it is bloody awesome,
and it's dirt cheap for a single barrel.
Yep.
It's like a $30 bottle,
Something
basically.
like that, yeah.
It's a fucking great price. Why don't you tell us about what we're drinking from Monument today?
Sure. As we've talked about a few weeks in a row now, since we've announced it, we are doing a live show on December 15th at Monument City Brewing. That's from 8:45 in the morning until about 3 p.m. We're going to be hanging out, watching Manchester United Everton, and then Arsenal Manchester City afterwards, which is going to probably, on current form, turn out poorly for the both of us.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But it'll be a great time. We'll do some quick live recording as well, but we'll play some games with the people there, mix around, have some fun. We've got about 50 people, give or take a few, that are interested at least in coming, and about 9 or 10 that are confirmed going.
Which means we'll have 12.
Yeah, which is
good.
Good.
We'll get hammered with you 12.
Yeah. So, but no, come out, spend some time with us. We think it's going to be a good time. You might find yourself on the pod quickly there. You might find yourself being able to ask a question, anything, or just hanging out and interacting with us and getting our thoughts on Monument City's lovely beer.
So you can come see what Carly and I get to see every weekend, our husbands melt down while their teams play.
Yeah. While drinking at 8 a.m.
Yeah. Seeing Sam cussing at the TV in real time, nothing like it.
That's true. It is a wonderful thing. But so what we have tonight is Monument City Brewing's Among the Pines. This is their seasonal double IPA. It's a West Coast style DIPA. Perfect balance of malt and hops, brewed with spruce tips, Simcoe and Amarillo hops, giving it a piney resin and citrus notes, which is excellent. One of my favorite double IPAs of the holiday season.
Fabulous.
Oh, and I should probably tell you that it comes in at 9% by volume.
Oh, so humdinger.
Big boy.
Yeah. Remember, 2 will do the same as 1 with that beer. Or 1 will do the same as 2 regulars.
And that won't stop me on December 15th.
All right, well, let's get into it then.
Let's do it to it. No, I was holding the top. There we go. I stopped the resonation.
Resonation?
I made that up.
Yeah.
Probably is resonating. But whatever.
Sam, we typically say you're not going to win the league in December, but you're sure as fuck going to lose it. 3 teams chasing Liverpool had a different array of results. Manchester City 2, Newcastle 2, West Ham 1, Chelsea 0, Leicester 2, Everton 1. City find themselves 11 points behind the Reds. Have they dug themselves too big of a hole to dig out of?
I think so, because even when the front 3 can't score, as we'll talk about in Liverpool, Virgil van Dijk pops up with 2. City is really letting it slip, to be fair. I mean, Newcastle were good on the day defensively, parking the bus and whatnot, but they weren't particularly great. Dare I say Newcastle was clinical. Only 3 shots on target, 2 of them went in. And for every worldie that City scored, Newcastle matched them through Jetro Willems.
Love saying that one.
Jetro Willems and a lovely John Joe Shelby goal. 2 people that could not look any more opposite.
So, Laporte being out has certainly really caused effects, and the defense is now actually costing them points. It appears
100%.
Pardon me there. The John Joe Shelby goal. that was a breakdown by City of epic proportion. Shelby is sitting 25 yards outside the box. All of City is back. You know that man wants to have a go from distance, and no one's standing by him.
You know he can have a go from distance also.
No one is standing by him at all. Like,
Yep.
one person half-heartedly chased out to him, and he put it away.
Yep. So, the announcer said it during the game, basically, that when you're defending your goal like that, after having just scored in such late doors there, that you kind of get sucked into pack the box first and then let's step out. Problem is, they never stepped out.
Yeah.
Everybody got back. All right, we're behind the ball. Let's sort it out. You got him. Oh, shit. It's in the back of the net.
By the way, that De Bruyne goal was fucking sick.
Both of them were dirty.
Jesus.
De Bruyne's was real dirty. But,
wow.
Both of them were awesome. How easy it would have been to sky either one of those chances.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Either one of those chances
Either one of those
could
could have been
put
missed.
in row Z.
Oh, yeah.
Without a doubt.
Hell, Shelby could have put it out for a throw.
Oh, yeah. 100% coming across his body like that.
Yeah.
But it teed it up brilliantly. De Bruyne did the same thing for his. Perfectly off the chest, bounced once, and it set up at a nice height. And he unleashed on that motherfucker.
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
Nice to see Almiron finally gets an assist.
Yeah, like I said a couple of weeks ago, he actually does do really good work, Miguel Almiron. He's had a lot of hockey assists this year where his pass was the one that opened up the play, and then Matt Ritchie would get an assist, or DeAndre Yedlin would get an assist, or what have you. He was the pass before the assist.
Yeah.
But without his pass, the play would have never been open to the extent that it was.
He's also the one creating all the offense.
Absolutely. 100%.
So it's hard to be particularly judgmental of him. Like, what are you going to do? Move him to the bench? That'd be the worst thing ever. Like, he actually adds pace and width to your team. Like, you got to let him play.
Yeah, and you have to do that because in this game, they said, you know what? Have the ball. We're not even going to try to have the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They had 23.6% possession.
Jesus.
Based on the statistics on the Premier League app.
God.
Yeah. Less than a quarter of the ball.
And they scored 2 goals on 3 shots.
They still got 3 shots on target and scored twice, yeah. Now, that being said, Dubravka had a worldie himself. A couple of really good saves from Martin Dubravka.
Yeah.
It was a highlight reel by him on his lonesome.
Well, we've talked about him multiple times, that he's probably one of the more underrated keepers in the Premier League currently.
Absolutely.
You know?
But, yeah, to your first question, I think City is pissing it away.
Yeah.
I really do.
Liverpool's going to have to fuck up. That's really the only way City's going to find themselves back in this.
Exactly, and as I said earlier, if it's not Salah, it's Mane. If it's not Mane, Firmino finally got off the score sheet a couple of weeks ago. Got on the score sheet a couple of weeks ago after a small goal drought. Henderson has scored goals.
Fucking Origi.
Where's it coming from? Origi, exactly. Oxlade-Chamberlain chipped in with 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And then today, or well, not today, it's Monday, the other day, happened to be Van Dijk at the double.
So moving on to the West Ham-Chelsea game. Was this the friendly reminder that Chelsea's team and Chelsea's manager are still quite young and still quite fresh?
Yeah, partially. I think they play with such verve and pomp that missing Tammy Abraham, they had to change their ways a little bit, having Olivier Giroud up front because he's not as mobile.
Right.
And being so young, I think that they maybe didn't change enough. You know what I mean? They didn't take to the new tactic as well as maybe they could have. They're kind of balls to the wall, run all the time, we'll beat you 4-2, which is what they've been doing very well. It was a great game, in my opinion.
Really good
There's
game.
been a lot of bad blood, obviously, since Frank Lampard himself left West Ham as a younger man. As a player being coached by his uncle Harry Redknapp at the time, and a lot of bad blood on that move, and kind of a recent, if you will, rivalry or some. I mean, they are both in London, so technically it is a derby, but opposite sides of the city and no real connection in their history, to be honest.
Right.
But Lampard leaving really left a bad blood, kind of almost reminiscent of Maryland Duke when
Danny Ferry,
Silver Spring boy,
Bowie boy.
Yeah.
Bowie boy went to DeMatha.
Yep. And then chose Duke over Maryland, obviously, after verbally committing to Maryland.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't care about the game. None of that matters. David Martin.
Got to talk about
You
it.
have to.
It's an amazing story, and it's a keeper. I have a soft spot for keepers.
I cried.
Fucking 33 years old.
Debut in the Premier League.
Boyhood fan of West Ham. Had to play for Millwall last year. They're bitter rivals. How much shit do you think he swallowed having to fucking play
Absolutely.
with fuck off Millwall?
Well, his father is a West Ham legend. 1976 to 1996, his father played for West Ham.
Very cool.
Just is a fucking legend. He was at the game, following the clean sheet, and sure, they got lucky a couple of times. I think Chelsea hit the post once or twice, or a fairly open net. He was out of position. They put it wide.
Every
He
game
made
needs a little luck, as we're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
get into the next one.
He made his fair share of saves himself. The third person didn't get the shot off, but he had to dive out well to save it. But he made a fantastic double save.
Yep.
And then pounced on it just before, I think it was Christian Pulisic, just before he got to it. But
Once-
afterwards,
When they blew the whistle, falls to
falls
his
to
knees, crying.
cries, and then afterwards, stands are almost empty. His dad is still in the stand. He goes over the advertising hoarding, walks up the stairs, and hugs his dad still in full gear.
Fabulous.
And him and his dad have an embrace. I cried my eyes out. That was brilliant. But just to not have the fucking muffin man back there patty caking it stuff, and
Yeah.
Roberto gave West Ham new life.
Put a guy in who has some fucking passion.
Oh, yeah. And
knows
it
what
seemed,
that badge means. You know what? He's going to have a gaff. He's going to have a gaff. He's a 33-year-old veteran championship goalkeeper. He's going to have a gaff. But you know what he is going to do? He's going to play his dick off, and he is going to sell his body to make every fucking save he can for you.
Now, did you notice, and it seemed like the players took notice of that, after that final whistle, when
Oh,
he fell
yeah.
to his knees, they all ran over to him and picked him up, patted him on the back, rubbing his head. Well done, son. You did it. You saved us. Because he did make a couple of fan-fucking-tastic saves.
He did.
It looked like you in your heyday.
Thank you very much. So, Pellegrini shuffles up the lineup a little bit. A little bit of a, hey, don't think you're so good. Worked. Because those guys later on got on the pitch and ran their asses off.
Well, for as big as Sebastian Aller is, he doesn't bully people enough. But that's what Mikel Antonio is fucking good at.
Oh,
and
yeah.
especially against that relatively inexperienced back line at Chelsea. I know Kurt Zuma's been in the league for a while and has played at various clubs, but in terms of being a Chelsea player, is still quite young.
Yeah, very young.
Still hasn't played for Chelsea much.
Right.
So he just bullied the shit out of him. Had a Hulk smash header. Was brilliant. Great performance up top from him.
Yeah, great.
Now, Kepa saved it, but they looked more dangerous. I can't remember. It's been 3 weeks since Sebastian Aller's had a shot on goal, I think.
Yeah.
So it was a good mix-up, and I think it saved his job, Pellegrini.
Yeah, for now it has, definitely.
Yeah, which
Now
sucks
go-
because you're going to need a coach soon.
Yeah, precisely. Apparently not. Apparently we're still not fucking firing him. So going on to that, when you need a win, you find a way. When you're not playing your best, you find a way. Leicester found a way. That's
yeah.
really, very simply what it came down to.
Yep.
Because Everton, credit to them, played ugly, hacky, slow it down, fuck with them, and you could tell it was grinding. It was grinding Leicester.
Oh, yeah.
They were getting knocked around, and it was just frustrating. And then Everton gets that goal. I think it was like 70% to 30% as far as possession went.
Yep,
yeah,
it was.
and just but they figured out a way. In the 94th minute, they got one.
Yep. So for me, in the opening exchanges, you guys were fairly even. Both you had chances here or there. You say Leicester's are probably better chances, but you both had chances. You all came out of the gate and actually played for a change.
Yeah.
You looked like you had a plan. You went forward. You defended. You did okay. And it looked like the belief was starting to creep right back into the side. And that all culminated in Richarlison having his own Hulk smash header.
Yeah.
And this time beating Kasper Schmeichel.
Yeah.
And fucking almost ripped a hole in the back of the net.
That was a great header. Great ball in from Sidibe as well. Sidibe,
Oh, yeah.
more so than recently Sidibe, I've been a little critical of him because offensively he seems to get the ball in and he attacks forward. But, I mentioned, Southampton brought on a sub, made him his bitch. Then turned around Trossard with the Brighton Hove game. He came on, made Sidibe his bitch. Like they worked Sidibe. This match, hell no. He was frustrating the shit out of Iosi Perez. Like he was beating him up, and you could tell they weren't going to get down that flank at all. And he had himself a hell of a game.
You're absolutely right.
It was nice. Jamie Vardy scored for you. How'd Sadio Mane do?
He did not score.
Losing streak continues.
Yes, it does.
You know what? Two VAR decisions, and I got to say both were right.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
The penalty wasn't a penalty. Hey, you know what, Joel? You gotta take the bump. If you want the penalty, you got to slide the foot in there and take the bump. He literally dove over top of the foot. He jumped in the air and then threw the arms out and did the oh my god I'm dying fall. And you didn't get touched, so no penalty. And unfortunately, at the end, it's what fucking Everton seems to do right now.
Yeah,
Iheanacho was onside. He was onside.
He was.
It was a goal.
He was onside. There's two things about this that I want to say. First, I want to get one thing out of the way about you. Tom Davies, great work down the right that you all almost took the lead on. Somebody gave it into Moise Kean.
He didn't have a particularly good game, but he's only had one bad game so far. I'm willing to give him a pass. He's trying to do too much.
Yes, but Moise Kean, they played that ball inside to him. He had a look over his shoulder as the ball was on the way. He saw the goalkeeper off his line, and that looks a confident man.
I screamed. I thought the ball was in the back of the net.
Yep. It was a great strike. It was almost on target. It was very close. And Kasper Schmeichel was beaten, hands down. If that had been on frame, it had been in the back of the net, without a doubt in my mind. And I still don't know why Moise Kean can't get a game from the start.
You know what? He's a 19-year-old kid. He doesn't know any better. Put him out there to start against fucking Liverpool in the derby.
Why not?
Put him up top.
Yeah.
Let him cause havoc.
Yeah, he's more physical than anyone on your roster, really.
He can take a beating from Lovren and Van Dijk. He can take that beating.
And he might be able to muscle them back a little bit.
Let him fucking go.
Why not? I don't understand
Precisely.
it.
Why not let him go?
I don't understand it. But yeah, as you said, Iheanacho snatched a late winner after VAR confirmed he was onside. My question about that is why didn't VAR check the goal on Jack Grealish when I thought he was probably onside? They didn't even check the goal when Villa would have went 2-0 up.
Oh, no shit.
Yep. The linesman rose his flag and they let it go. They didn't even look at it.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yep. Go take a gander. Look at the replay.
All right, well, Malort time for me.
There you go.
I suspect I'll be doing a whole bunch of these in a row coming up recently.
Coming up recently, Mel.
No, coming up.
Soon. Soonly. I know. I'm just giving you shit.
I'm a dying man here. I'm a dying man. Maybe this will knock it out of me,
Malort might help. Mm-hmm. And down the hatch. Watch him not cough the rest of the day.
Whoa, no, don't help. Fuck, that's bad.
All right.
Tastes exceptionally bad this time. Right now, Silva's still got his job. I think they're going to let him go ahead and make an embarrassment of himself at the derby. Who knows? We can go win that game 1-0, or we can be beaten fucking 8-0. I know this much. We'll talk about it more on injury time. This is a game in the midweek for the derby. Jurgen Klopp is licking his chops.
Yeah.
North London has seen some managerial changes. One is paying off. One is still in flux. Arsenal 2, Norwich 2, Tottenham 3, Bournemouth 2. Freddie Ljungberg is the interim boss. Had a couple of head scratchers with the starting 11 there, Sam.
Yes, he did. For all of the joy and adulation that Arsenal Internet had Friday, waking up to the news in America, waking up to it, that Unai Emery was sacked and Freddie Ljungberg will be taking temporary charge, was spectacular. It was a wonderful morning. I think he probably just went with, quote-unquote, tried and true people that have been at the club for a long time that understand
play it safe.
what the club is about and play it safe. It also, on paper, looked as a 4-4-2, but I think it was played more like a 4-2-2-2.
Right.
Which is a bit safer, right? Clog the middle up, don't let them play through the ranks, and go from there, right? But
Problem is you have one defender who doesn't defend the middle so well.
No, we have 2 defenders that do that, and 3 players to fill those 2 positions that don't do that at the moment. But so yeah, obviously he only had 1 training session with half of the squad,
Right.
and then another training with the other half of the squad. If that, and it was very light because it was Saturday, the day before a game. But most of that squad played Thursday in the Europa League, and then didn't train Friday as a recovery day.
Right.
So he hasn't had a lot of time, obviously. It was a bit of a head scratcher bringing in Mustafi out of the cold, which he's partially to blame for that first goal. I think it was a little bit more on David Luiz, in my opinion. But obviously it deflected off Mustafi, which always seems to fucking happen.
Right.
And then Mustafi was the closest defender, but probably on 3 different Arsenal players for not taking responsibility and stepping to Cantwell, as they just allowed him to waltz in the box and find a finish. And once again, to a team in the bottom 3, we have to rely on Alexandre Lacazette or Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to rescue the fucking points for us. Last week against Southampton, it was Laka at the double. This week, it's Aubameyang.
It was nice having Aubameyang play for you, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, he's gone. He's gone in the summer, right?
It's-
He's going to want to play Champions League ball.
We'll see.
And you're going to have to sell
Listen,
him.
we'll see what coach comes in, and we'll see what happens. Because right now, and you could even say this with Chelsea's recent loss to West Ham, you could say that 4th through
10th is
10th is kind of up in the air. And
hell, fucking
so
5th through 16th, 17th is up for grabs right now.
yeah, I mean,
Everton pulls off 2 wins. They're suddenly suddenly 7th place.
that's what I'm saying. So there's a lot of football to still be played and a lot of inconsistency in all of these teams, right? So you string 3 wins together, all of a sudden we're in 4th again.
Right.
And it's in our own hands. If we lose 2 more, we could find ourselves 12 points back, whatever it is. It's still early doors to really see how it's going to shape out, but there still is a realistic chance to finish in 4th place. I don't think we'll do it because I don't think we'll be able to shore up the defense fast enough.
How soon? Well, because you're not going to be allowed to spend any money on a defender.
No,
Unless maybe you pull off a loan and get a central defender from somebody, but you're not buying anybody in the January window.
Unless they sign the manager, right? Unless they have the manager in place within the next 2 weeks, and he has he'll have a lot of games to assess the squad. If that's the case. But there's no signs pointing to they're going to sign a manager in the next 2 weeks.
That was exactly what I was about to ask. What does it look like? Who's it going to be? What's it going to be? Anything right now? Or is it just, go ahead, Freddie, it's your team?
I would tend to say we give him to the end of the season and make sure we do it right.
Okay.
But apparently there's reports coming out of Argentina that Pochettino has hinted that he's not far away from returning to club management already.
Oh, wow.
And we've already been linked with him. I don't know that I'd want him necessarily. He's a good coach. I think he would do well and organize his team.
Yeah,
but what happens?
Spud.
But what happens when he runs out of ideas? Exactly.
Yeah.
What happens when it collapses again, like it did at Tottenham?
He'll be able to do more.
Gonna,
He'll be able to do more with less. That's one thing he did very well at Tottenham.
That's exactly it.
Brought up youth.
Is he going to want to attach his name to a signing, like he didn't want to do at Spurs? Is he going to want to? Because there's, I mean this kind of as a dig, but it's partially true as well. I mean, Spurs hasn't been a big team for a long time. He recently brought them back into that fold.
Yeah, Spurs have been a big team now for the past 4 years.
Right, exactly. So is he ready to take the step up? We are still viewed as a big team despite our misfortunes.
Right.
We still are a massive club despite our misfortunes. We're not playing like a massive club, but we still are a massive club.
Yeah.
Is he ready for that step up? Because
you make a lot of money for the LA Rams.
He was exceeding expectations at Spurs.
Yeah.
those that he was doing are our basic expectations over the last 20 years.
Yeah.
So can he make that step up where that's the minimum? The highest bar he's ever reached is our minimum.
Do you think your team still qualifies for European play?
Yes. I think we'll figure it out for that.
You know that. I mean, who knows what happens in the FA Cup
I know.
and who knows what happens in the League Cup?
I
you
think
really
we still
think
finish
you
fifth
could
or
finish
sixth. Yeah.
fifth? Well, what if somebody other than the top 5 teams wins both the FA and the League Cup and you're sixth? You're sitting
Then you're
with
fucked.
nothing in your hand, and then you're
But
really fucked.
You have to imagine either Liverpool or City will lift the FA Cup or the League Cup. You have to imagine that
probably
happens.
one or the other.
Right.
I would lean more towards City doing it, and also, I mean, for the League Cup, Chelsea's still in it. Man
Even
U's still in it.
Even Spurs, whichever competition they're still in, didn't they lose to Colchester or something?
Yeah, they're out of the League Cup,
but I could see them winning the FA Cup.
FA Cup, especially because Jose's going to win a
there
trophy
and always delivers a trophy.
Yeah, so
which is going to pain me, and I want to throw up now that I've said it out loud. But
Jose wins trophies.
he's going to deliver Spurs a trophy within the next 2.5 years.
He wins
before
trophies.
the wheels fucking
It's what
come
he
off.
does.
Yeah.
It's what he does. He wins trophies
Before
now,
the wheels come off.
Let's go ahead. New manager bump. They're scoring a fuck ton of goals. They're giving up a ton, but new manager bump's working. Jose seems to be kind of calm about it.
Now they've dubbed him the humble one.
Instead of the special one.
This is the new iteration of Jose Mourinho, the humble one. Although his first line in a press conference was, "Let's not make it all about me, please."
Well, one of the things that I found very interesting from him, and okay, maybe he's making a change in his managerial style. 2 weeks in a row, you have 3-0 leads. 2 weeks in a row, you end up winning the game 3-2. And when asked about it, he just said, "Right now, we need to get wins. Results is all that matters. Once we get through December, then I'll worry about formation. Then that'll be a problem, and then I'll fix it. But right now, I just want wins. I just want 3 points, and I don't care how I get it."
Fair enough to him.
For him, that's pretty fucking mature for that guy to say.
Well, absolutely. But he's coming into a new team, right, in a situation where you're about to hit the busiest part of the year.
Normally, he would have thrown a couple of defenders under the bus.
Absolutely. By now, 100%. I got that, everybody. A couple of defenders under the bus.
Thank you for translating my choking.
No problem. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
But what I would be worried about is Bournemouth did have a boatload of chances early.
Oh, yeah.
And Gazaniga rescued them pretty handedly. One time with his collarbone.
Yeah, Harry Wilson scored me a lot of fantasy points.
He was on my fucking bench again.
I had Harry Wilson and Virgil van Dijk. Although I had heard reports that Richarlison was going to be out because of an injury, so I subbed in Yarmolenko, and of course Yarmolenko didn't start, and Richarlison scores a goal.
Well, that was your fuck up. I had Harry Wilson on the bench, scored 2.
For 2.
Yeah, fucking dickheads. But anyway, it was a wonderful free kick from him, but then he couldn't score again for 20 minutes, Harry Wilson, and making it much too late to complete the comeback.
Oh, yeah.
But I do want to give a shout out, because the guy fucking deserves it, to be honest with you. Musa Sissoko. In all competitions, that's his first goal for 95 appearances.
Oh, yeah. I remember the Champions League one where he's dribbling straight away at the goalie, and you're just like, he's not
blazed it over. Yeah.
He's not going to score.
And this was a decent fucking finish as well. It was amazing. But good on Musa Sissoko. That's well done, son. First goal for 95 appearances.
And only now Spurs find themselves in 5th place.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Rounding out the rest of the league, and so that happened. We've got Manchester United 2, Aston Villa 2, Wolverhampton 1, Sheffield 1, Palace 2, a major 6-pointer, Southampton 2, Watford 1.
And a snoozer.
Oh, God, yeah, it was. And then Liverpool 2, Brighton 1. Villa's midfield bossed that game. We said
Yeah, they did.
If McTominay and was not in that lineup, if it was going to be Fred and Pereira, that they were going to boss them, and they fucking bossed them.
Now, United did have almost 2/3 of the ball, but you wouldn't have known it watching the game live. I was surprised to see that stat, that United had 2/3 of the ball. They did a lot of possessing at the back, but it was pretty end-to-end stuff, to be honest. Despite their small amount of possession, Villa created a lot of chances.
Yeah.
And it seems like
Missed a big one, too.
besides the one mistake from
that was a big one.
Tyrone Mings.
Oh, there was another one, the one from Jack, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But
wide
the-
open net goes wide.
Yeah, but the Tyrone Mings, where he, I think it might have actually been Jack Grealish following like a corner set play, had the ball out to the Villa left-hand side, played the ball back to Mings. Instead of just smashing it downfield, he tried to hold in possession.
Yeah.
And that ended up leading to the first United goal. So that was a bit unfortunate. The ball came inside, somebody got fouled, and then whatever it was. So that was unfortunate on him. He's still young. He's going to make a mistake or two here or there. But for him to show the leadership and the character, other than that, he was solid defensively.
Yeah.
And then to show the leadership and the character and the responsibility to call off somebody who's probably in a better position than he is to take on that strike from the free kick and to bang it home as he did.
Oh, yeah.
Was fucking brilliant. And he said, "This is fucking mine. Get out of my face." Even though somebody at a better angle running onto the ball as opposed to him reaching back for it on his weaker foot was fantastic.
He's really growing into one hell of an English center back, isn't he?
100%. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He stays calm.
Yeah.
He's strong in the tackle, balanced. He's a beast of a man. He's hard to knock down.
Oh, he's
just the dude's
big
awesome
boy.
He's
He
got
has
it.
a
He has
presence.
everything.
He has a presence
Oh, yeah.
about him that I mean, again, y'all know I don't know anything about this whole game except what I've been listening to y'all run your mouths about. And I instantly was just drawn to him at the beginning. And I was
100%.
surprised to see that was his first Premier League goal.
Yep. Well, he had tore his ACL when he was at Bournemouth, so he hasn't played a ton of football.
Got it.
But
I just assumed he was a superstar because he carries himself
Absolutely.
with that kind of maturity and has that. You just look at him, and some people are just born leaders and
100%.
gravitate towards him. And Mings is one of those people. And
Yeah.
man, Jack's goal though.
Brilliant.
God, it was
That's dirty.
so pretty.
That's dirty.
And then he did that whole soccer thing where he gets on his knees, looks back at the camera like a pirate.
Well, he did.
His hair's
I thought he was
perfect.
going to give a little smirk. He didn't do anything. It was
I
like Blue
expected him to
Steel.
wink. Yeah, I expected him to wink and go Beckman who.
Yeah, right.
He's too short to be the next David Beckham.
Correct. That's true.
Yeah, he's way
That's
too
true.
short.
Yeah.
Damn, he is so pretty to watch.
Correct.
Mel, since
He
most
is a
of what you
good-looking
know is
man.
from when you're listening to us, don't get too attached to Mings. He will not be on your team next year. Somebody's coming
I'm
with 50
already
million.
attached.
At least 50 million.
Somebody's coming with 50 million, and you're not going to be able to say no to that. Now, the
What-
beauty is you're going to get 4 players out of that money.
Now, that being said, much like Declan Rice did and resisted the temptation of Manchester United, I think Tyrone Mings might resist the temptation of somebody
For a year.
for now. But again, like Declan Rice, one more season, and then he's definitely gone. But he needs that season. I think, and I do believe this. I don't get the same feeling from Harry Maguire, right?
Right.
Tyrone Mings, the way he's playing and the way he's settled in and the maturity that he's starting to gain, with a little bit more experience, he could be a Van Dijk-esque player. Where
I
he
agree.
just brings a full calmness to the back line that, oi, I'm back here. Do your fucking jobs. We'll be all right.
Yeah, I got this.
Yeah, no problem. You know, if you get beat, just get behind me. We recycle, right? And we always back each other up. And that's I truly believe that he could have his presence and his imposing nature that he could have on an opposition. If he gets into a big side, welcome to Arsenal. Yeah. I think that he could be a very, very big-time player.
So a few people have reached out and kind of been like, Man U fans, of course, have been like, hey, you guys need to talk about Man U a little bit more. Well, I mean, honestly, they're the epitome of mediocrity right now. And without
Ouch.
Ouch. Why they're
I know, but that's
frankly they're
still-
kind of what Arsenal was at the end of the Wenger career.
So are
it was
you-
like just good enough.
Are you sure it's not Drarsenal? Because I think that's our 6th draw in a row or some stupid shit.
Yeah.
I need a rim shot.
But-
sound cue.
But the thing I would say is you really can't judge them, and you can't judge Ole until McTominay and Pogba are back in that lineup. There's some hustle out of Fred.
No, yeah,
So
yeah. No,
so
I
like
gotcha.
with McTominay, he's a nice complement player. I think with Pogba, he probably not, because Pogba's going to get more forward. But you really can't judge what Manchester United is doing right now until they're
He's got a full complement of players, absolutely. And I think when he does have that full allotment of players, which he hasn't had very often in his tenure, I think that they have shown signs that they could be decent again.
Right.
Getting into good, right? On the upper end of decent. So we'll see what happens when these people come back, and hopefully everyone else can stay fit for them.
Right.
And he's belter that hit the post from a ridiculous angle. There's a bit of shithousery. It was great.
I was too busy having my heart broken. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, I felt so bad. I knew it was bad when they cut in at the end of the Villa game to the Everton game, and the announcer's like, well, I just don't know what happened. And I looked at the score, and I went, fuck.
I got to go to the bedroom. I got to get out of here.
Thank goodness the Redskins won, and the Terps basketball won 3, and they're probably going to be the number 2 team in the nation. Thank God for that.
I wouldn't agree with the Redskins. I'd rather this season write it the fuck off, and let's get a decent draft pick. And now we look like we have a plan. Get a draft pick in. You've got Haskins. He seems like he knows what he's doing if he has the right system. And we can move forward with a number 1 draft pick next year. Nope, we fucked that up too. Now we're going to have like the 7th or 8th draft pick because we've won 2 in a row.
We'll be 3 or 4.
Nah,
we'll be
I don't think so because 7 and 9 is
All
going to
not
win
an
the
NFL
NFC
show.
East.
Let's get into the next one. Wolves.
I slept during the fucking Redskins game.
Wolves haven't lost a match in 9 Premier League games. Blades haven't lost a match in 7 Premier League games.
Liss Mousset opened the scoring with good feet after the Wolves' defense tried to do too much, and 2 defenders went to attack the initial ball put in. And then Donker was lucky to stay on the pitch after his tackle on Liss Mousset a few minutes later after the restart. I think the defender on the far side probably saved him from being the quote-unquote last man and denying a clear goal-scoring opportunity. But with this one again, Matt Doherty equalized with a header and in an emotional remove. Timeout. Gather your thoughts, fuckface. In an emotional move, removed his black armband, kissing it and raising it to the air. That was obviously for former teammate Benik Afobe, former Arsenal man as well.
Yeah.
Lost his 2-year-old daughter to a rare infection on Friday.
Yeah, heartbreaking story.
Very sad. And I believe Benik Afobe is only about 24 years old as well.
Oh, jeez.
So a very young man, and the whole Afobe tribe, because losing a child is one of the worst things any human being can ever experience. Obviously, there's the sun's supposed to rise and set in a particular order, and that's not it.
No.
And that's something I my heart just goes out to their
Your child's
entire
supposed to
family.
bury you. You're not supposed to bury your child.
100%.
Period. End of discussion.
Exactly.
It's just awful.
Yep.
Absolutely awful.
So, but very emotional scenes there when he scored. It looked like it meant a lot to him, and obviously dedicating the entire performance to the Afobe family. Stoke City reaching out, a former loan club that he was at, as well as Bournemouth doing the same. And then a couple of random clubs just reaching out to him as well, which was nice to see. But Sheffield United, again, organized at the back. Very well done from them. A wonderful performance yet again. And they really do look the business. You hope they can keep this pace up in the second half of the season.
Yeah, I think they're safe, though. I think they're safe.
I mean, the only team officially safe from relegation is Liverpool.
Yeah, true.
As I put on the closed Facebook group the other day because they hit the magic 40-point number.
Yep. So moving on to Palace, and we'll keep these next couple kind of brief and quick. So Palace gets a nice win with the 2-0 at Turf Moor. But if you dig a little deeper, Pope should have had both of those goals, and Burnley missed 2 flat-out sitters.
Pope should have done better. Pope should have done better. Pope should have done better. Those are my notes.
Yeah,
for this game.
I mean, good on you, Palace. You took advantage of the situations. You got a nice win. That's good on you. You know, kind of you just went through a little bit of a gauntlet there of tough teams. Nice W. Well done. Also, be happy that an England international didn't have his best game, and both Woods and Barnes, who typically are clinical in front of net, both skied sitters.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
flat out sitters.
Barnes twice. he had another one hit off his thigh, and as he was taking his next step to set up for the shot, it had a tame little accidental pass to the goalkeeper. It was pitiful.
So Southampton are completely dominated for most of the game until the very bitter end, where they're able to get the equalizer and then finally get the winner. Quique Flores is sacked.
Lost his job again.
And typically, if you're going to a third manager, that normally equals relegation.
Yeah,
I
the
think
third manager
Watford's
before Christmas, I don't know if it's ever happened.
Watford's in real trouble.
Oh, big trouble. And you say that Southampton were dominated, right? That Watford dominated that game?
Most of it, yeah.
Overall, the stats say that Watford conceded 2/3 of possession to Southampton. Now, Southampton didn't create shit from it.
I actually watched the match. I mean, I fucking sat there and watched the whole fucking thing. And Watford had the chances. Watford was pushing forward. Watford had opportunities. And really, most of that possession swung in probably the last 20 minutes of the game.
Yeah, they said what they have here is that Watford only managed 3 shots on target at all.
They had opportunities.
It's just not fucking good enough, man. Just period, point blank, end of story. It's not fucking good enough.
Why are you putting Tamari? Why are you putting Gray on the field and not Deeney? Deeney's healthy. Just let him fucking play.
Right, let him exactly
give you an emotional boost.
Especially going 1-0 up. They should have tried to be on the front foot. They should have tried to take the game to Southampton.
You sub out the one guy who's actually getting shit done in Delafeu.
But again, I think what was that, their 9th goal for the season?
Yeah,
Watford. It's not good enough. Every stat across the board screams relegation.
Absolutely.
They need to fix it and fix it fucking quick, or they're gone.
Liverpool, completely comfortable, 1,000% comfortable, until Alisson pulls an absolute gaffe.
Now this reminded me of, and people outside of this country won't know it, but do you remember the Dikembe Mutombo Geico commercials?
Yes.
Where he would bat the G away?
No.
Yeah.
Not in my house. No.
That's what Alisson did, except he was 25 yards from goal, which means he was outside of his 18-yard box.
Yeah. It was not good. And before a derby, not smart.
No, not at all.
And then the goal they gave up, that is something they should be doing to Brighton, not Brighton doing to them.
That was really strange. Adrian didn't even seem to have his boots on the bench.
Yeah.
He looked like he was still getting dressed about 3 minutes after the red card was actually given. And then from the subsequent free kick, he runs into the net, throws his towel on the ground, stands on the post, and starts to direct the wall. It looked to me that he yelled about 7 times at the wall before anybody listened to him.
Yeah.
And then the players were 10 yards away. The referee blew the whistle, and Adrian wasn't set yet.
Dunk looked at him, said, "Can I go?" He blew the whistle. He passed it into the back of the net. Like I said, totally something you don't expect Liverpool to do. And then he, coughed up one there as well, right in front of the net in the second. Like he,
and he dove on it well. He recovered well from that. But he spilled one that he shouldn't have spilled. Absolutely, you're absolutely right. But again, the very prolific partnership of Trent Alexander-Arnold and Virgil van Dijk, combining twice, once from a free kick and once from a corner, for 2 Hulk smash headers.
Yep. You finally got all your strikers back healthy. They didn't really have it. You know what? Don't worry about it. We got set piece plays. We've got a marksman on the outside who's going to put a ball on somebody's head, and we've got big old Hulk smash Van Dijk who's going to make it happen.
Right.
Probably good that Adrian made a few mistakes, because that then prepares him for what's coming up on Wednesday. I think that gets him a little more active and a little more prepared.
Absolutely.
It's time to tell you what little we know. It is prediction time. Pat unfortunately lost late as he picked a draw between Southampton and Watford. Puts him at directly even. You're going to eat those words. Graham cannot pick a winner to save his life and now finds himself down $1,385.
All right.
The chicken is back to 500,
The Patreon is not going towards your betting bets.
And I am on a 4-game heater and now only down $181.
That's all right.
And we'll be making money in no time.
You'll lose twice this week, but I do want to make a quick mention of betting bets that I have over here instead of betting debts.
Whatever. Everybody knew what I was talking about.
I know, but betting bets
bets.
is very funny. That one needed a special mention.
Thanks. Because, I also have the Black Plague death going on over here.
Yeah.
For me, it's not coughs. It's my vocal cords,
I
which
did
is, yes, Taylor, the obvious joke, nature's mute button.
I did hear the World Health Organization has dubbed the bubonic plague as a re-emerging disease. You should check that out.
And if I die of the bubonic plague, you're going to cry like a baby.
Now he can pronounce shit. The bubonic.
Bubonic.
He hit the C real hard, too.
He really did.
All right. What are you giving me something?
So would you like somebody else to actually make picks for you now?
No,
I mean, since
I'm
you
still
can't-
doing it. No, this is fine. We did this all last season. We were picking every game, and I still came out on top.
Okay, so why don't you go ahead and give us your pick?
You want to do mine? All
yeah,
right.
we'll do yours.
Are we doing, you want to do the first one, everybody's first one?
Nope, do them both.
Do them both. All right, so by itself, on the midweek,
Uh-huh.
Bournemouth to win.
Okay.
Okay?
Who they got?
We'll discuss that in the next segment. I just picked Bournemouth to win.
Okay, heard. Got it. All right, and then your
I
second
wa-
game. No
Wasn't
admin
ready
on the
for
fly.
that. I wasn't ready for that. Crystal Palace,
Got
they
it.
have actually away from home, but Crystal Palace are woeful at home,
Got it.
typically.
Got it.
So, yeah, I got Bournemouth to win. That gives me plus 250.
Okay.
Okay?
Next one.
On the weekend, I have Liverpool beating Bournemouth away. I have Tottenham winning, which I don't know who they play because you didn't tell me I had to do that. Burnley at home. Tottenham's got Burnley at home. I have Tottenham winning.
Come to a show prepared?
No. And Crystal Palace, I have winning away from home at Watford.
So 3-game parlay?
A 3 parlay, just straight win. No goals, no score, no nothing. Just straight wins. I've got Liverpool over Bournemouth away from home, Tottenham to beat Burnley at home, and Crystal Palace to win away against Watford. That gives me a whopping plus 482 on us.888sport.com, which is where we get our money lines, ladies and gents.
Not hitting.
I'm hitting all of it. It's all coming to fruition. And what I say that was 485, 42.
Yeah.
That's going to give me 632. And I'll be right back in business. I'll be right back in the game. Not a problem. What you worried about?
I'm sure Tegan will do very well in community college.
Hey, I went to community college and I turned out all right. I mean, I'm a degenerate fucker, but I turned out okay.
Whatever you need to tell yourself. Speaking of degenerate motherfuckers.
And now, it's time for our degenerate gambling friend Pat's Pick of the Week.
So Pat titled this All Out Parlays. So usually I do a breakdown of the main NBC televised match. But this week, since there's midweek matches, I'm going to do something special. I may be a degenerate, but there's a member of the show that is in dire need of help. So, Mr. Graham, this week I'm going to do 2 parlays. Any of the winnings will be donated to the Get Sammy Out of the Hole Fund. So first, I will parlay the over of the Man U Spurs game at 2.5 and the Arsenal giving a goal, and that will net $272 on a $100 bet.
Giving up a goal. Arsenal giving up a goal?
No, Arsenal getting a goal. Winning by
period.
a goal.
Just,
yeah.
winning by a goal. Okay.
Yeah.
So 1-0, 2-1, 3-2, doesn't matter.
Just winning by at least a goal.
Got it.
Could be 4-2. It's still a goal. Yeah.
Oh, a goal or more.
Right. You just
I got you. Yeah,
winning
yeah.
by at least a goal.
So winning.
And that will net $272 on a $100 bet. And the next parlay will be the over of Man U and Man City, which is 3.5 goals, and Wolverhampton in a pick'em, which would net him the same, $272. This week, I'm not trying to win for me, but for Sammy. And let's eliminate the debt sheet with 2 wins at a time.
All right, excuse me. I have a question.
Okay.
2 things.
Yeah.
That being said, once mine hits and his hits, I'll only be like 200 in the hole. So I'll be well back in the game. Second problem.
It's if yours hits and when his hits.
What's a pick'em?
He picks them to win. It's an even up game. It's not a, it's he picked a game where he took a spread. Most of the games you're able to just pick them straight up, and it's odds. He got better odds if he picked a spread on it, and that's why he did.
So
that.
he picked a spread of plus 0.5?
No, of plus 0.5. Yeah, Arsenal to win by at least one.
Well, but that would just be winning.
No, it's plus one. So got to win by one. It's winning by one.
Okay, so if they win by 3, it doesn't.
I don't know why you have so many fucking questions for a guy who's trying to help you out because you fucking suck at making picks.
I'm just saying it doesn't make any sense. They have to win by 1.
Yes.
And this show is going to go an hour 15 because the gears in the brain are working on Sam.
I might as well.
Why are you asking me questions when I can't fucking talk and I'm going to fucking die any minute now? Why are you bringing this along?
All right, fuck it, go. What are you betting?
All right, 4 games in a row. Baby, time to stay the course. Get out of the hole with
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
30% of the time, it works. 100% of the time. My tried and true system. For the midweek, I will be taking Spurs to beat United at plus 160. And for the weekend, I will be taking Wolves to beat Brighton at plus 175. Nice and simple. Couple of winners. I'll be up. You'll be down. I'll be laughing at you. Very easy. Now that is some great betting advice. And many would say,
I mean, it's okay advice.
that's good enough. I mean, I'm picking fucking winners, so y'all need to shut up. But no, we give you a chicken.
As Sam breaks into his dance like he does every week. Good news, folks. We didn't eat Kitty for Thanksgiving because she's back to 500 and was excited to get back into the action. And she wanted to bet both derbies this week. So first I gave her the Merseyside derby, and Kitty reaches into the coop, pulls out a ticket stub because, she's a music fan.
Yeah.
Well, she went to an Elvis Costello show, and her date, none other than Liam Neeson.
Ooh.
Liam, I have a particular set of skills. Set of skills that makes you a nightmare for a man like me.
Well,
I will hunt you down. I will find you. And I will kill you for supporting Liverpool.
sorry, big man. Your chicken is also taking Liverpool.
She never picks my team.
Never does.
It was also the right
You know
bet.
who else is a Liverpool supporter?
Who?
The guitarist from Hootie and the Blowfish.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised Kitty hasn't made the rounds with him because
Yep.
apparently
You
she
know
likes
who's
musicians.
also a fan of Liverpool?
Who?
Bandwagoning Norwegians. Go on to our next game.
That was actually pretty clever and witty. You can go ahead and die now. I don't think it's going to get any better than that.
Damn it, that got me. Man, we're both dying in the Houston household. All right, so speaking of musicians and derbies, for the other weekend's bet, it is the Manchester Derby. Now, Kitty said that she wasn't able to divulge as much because she signed an NDA, but she's been doing some sibling counseling for 2 brothers named Schmaliger.
You know, Liam Gallagher has been hanging
I'm
out in our
just-
backyard
I'm not
quite a bit
confirming
lately.
or
Huh.
denying.
And Liam's become really close with Kitty. Maybe it could a chicken reunite Noel and Liam?
I don't
the
know.
Gallagher brothers?
If
I
we-
would never ask her to break her
Again,
confidentiality.
I am
though.
not allowed
very
to
true,
divulge
very true.
anything other than
I'm-
what I did.
I'm just
I already
speculating.
Said too much. I already said too much. But Kitty is taking City to beat United.
All right, so City and Liverpool to win, huh?
I'm starting to think Kitty might have seen the script and slipped you 2 some anthrax.
Before I die completely, I just want to remind you all to always gamble legally and responsibly.
Epstein didn't kill himself. Old safe hands at the back.
Oh, shut up.
Took a 4-1 lead into halftime, and then I had to go pick up my cousins from the airport because I fucked up the game time.
Thank God you gave up a goal. I would have never heard the end of it if you
No,
didn't give up a goal.
Not a chance. But I
And it
did
was like minute 30 left in the half, so admit it, it was going through your head. You were like, shut out, it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
That'd be awesome. Yeah, and then I think it was maybe 36 seconds left in the first half. I did give up a goal, but I did think I thought like a field player. I was like, shit, we're right there at the end of the at the box there. I can't slide outside of the box because it's indoor, and so I just kind of made myself big, and it happened to nutmeg me. So, but I did make a few good saves, and the boys saw out the victory at the end after some shakiness. You told me afterwards.
We scored
at the beginning.
We
of the
scored
second
4
half.
straight. They scored 5 straight. We scored another 4 straight. 8-5. We won.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
DU is now currently sitting in 4th place on goal differential.
Yep. 1-1-1 record.
3 teams on 1-1-1, but we're a +2. Everybody else is either evens or under.
That's good.
On their goal differential. So we'll be okay. I
Play
think.
one of those 1-1-1s this week, I think. Big game.
Yep. I think I pulled Mars. I don't know if I'll be able to play Tuesday night.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to be there because I have an event to do for the job. So sorry.
I'll figure it out.
You'll
It'll be fine.
have to run the team for me, Sammy.
That'll be good.
Do you need someone to massage your butt?
Wouldn't be bad.
Shut up.
I hear
Hit
you
the
have
mute button.
experience.
Hit the mute button. All the mute buttons.
Inside joke. Subscribe to the Patreon if you want to know what the fuck I'm talking about.
So, that about wraps it up, boys and girls. Sammy, any parting words?
No, just again, prayers and thoughts to the Afobe family. That's it. It's a terrible thing. You never want to see that. And congratulations to David Martin, because that's another awesome, touching story.
Yep. Holy shit. Now I got to talk about 20 fucking games and somehow not lose my voice completely.
Yeah.
So next up is Injury Time. You want to know a little bit more about Injury Time? Go to our Patreon to find out. Sammy, what's our Patreon again?
www.patreon.com /DUfootballshow. And that's Patreon. Patreon. Yeah.
There you go.
I'm
Well
drunk.
done.
I'm
All
drunk.
right. Well, we'll get you more whiskey. And of course, next week's going to be a nice long show because there's going to be 20 games
fucking games to talk about.
and a couple of derbies in there too. There'll be the Jose Derby, there'll be the Merseyside Derby, and then there'll be the Manchester Derby. So
That's right.
A lot of shit to talk about.
And fucking rehearsal for the live show on the 15th.
Yep.
That's psych when you rehearsing shit.
no, of course not. Admin on the fly, baby.
That's
so
it.
till next week, everybody.
Good night. Oh, loosey-goosey, my son. Feeling great. I cracked from the middle of my head to my arsehole.